What's up, coconuts? Thank you so much for being here. Today I just wanted to share a couple of the fun products that I was able to pick up during the Sephora VIB sale. We've got the Be a Light palette from Becca, this giant palette from Morphe, as well as some Sephora products. Just a couple of random things that I just wouldn't maybe normally have picked up, but given the sale, it was too good to pass up. So if you're curious about some of the products that I've got here, stay tuned and please enjoy. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about, mostly because I'm going to be applying this and I feel like I'm looking a little bit ghostly, is the Be a Light face palette from Becca. This is in the medium to light range. There is a medium to dark as well, if I can open it. And can we just take a moment for this packaging? Like, can you hear the angels singing? Did heaven just open up? Like, this is so beautiful. It has a really nice weight to it. This message here of Be a Light is not only a lovely message, it's embossed. Then there's the Becca symbol here. Like, it's super beautiful. Even the unicarton is gorgeous. They really did a good job with this packaging. Now inside, when you open it, is equally beautiful, I think. You get a gorgeous giant mirror here, as well as this lovely layout of these products. So we've got a brightening powder, which I've been using as sort of like an under eye setting powder. We have a bronzing color and a blush, as well as an all over blurring setting kind of powder. So gonna hop into this guy first and we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so I'm just taking a really big fluffy brush from Still. You can find this at Walmart, and I'm just swirling it all in here in this setting shade. And I'm just gonna kind of pounce it into my skin. This is supposed to blur imperfections as well as set your makeup, and there is like a little bit of sheen to it. It's not glittery or highlighty, but it's just got a mild sheen to it. So it should add a little bit of luminosity as well. I don't think it's like doing a ton, but if you are someone that does like to set your makeup and you like a little bit, like a tiny little bit of luminosity, then you might really like this powder. Okay, so next I'm gonna go into this light shade here and set my under eye. And again, there's just a little bit of sheenness and luminosity to it, so it is noticeably brightening, I find. I do think that this would perform a little bit better had I put it on immediately after I put in my concealer, so there's like a little bit of tackiness to grab the powder, but this is still performing really well, and it is like a pretty smooth texture. Like, ooh, even if I just do that with my finger, it's a little bit more intense. Yeah, I kind of like that. I do like this. Like, and they do say that you can use this all over as like a brightening powder, so let's do it. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so next we're gonna hit up the contour shade, which is like pretty gold and pretty, I don't want to say orangey, but it's definitely leaning to the goldy bronze shade. So I did contour my cheeks a little bit with using the Artist Pro Glow, this cream shade here, just because it's like a little bit more on the cool tone side, and this is, like I said, looking a little bit on the warm side, so I just didn't want to go ham on the bronziness. So just taking a fluffy F25 from Sigma, and I'm just gonna kind of lightly tap this onto my cheeks here. Like I said, I've already got my contour on, and I don't want to go too crazy with this because it's looking pretty gold. And that actually is giving like a really nice glow, so I don't hate that. Okay, so we are going to be using the blush, but in just a moment, because I want to try out another blush first, and that is from Sephora. I figured Sephora sells great makeup, maybe they make great makeup, so during this sale I did pick up a couple of things that maybe I wouldn't normally try, but it was just like a really good deal, especially I think this and the eyeshadows that I picked up were on sale already. Plus the extra 20% off, like I just really couldn't not pick it up. So this blush is from the Colorful collection. It is called Love at First Sight, and it's just a really pretty muted pink. So here's one pass, very light, lovely to build up. We'll do a second pass here. So like I said, it's just a lovely muted pink that just sort of blends into the skin without being like patchy as soon as you put it on. So taking a nice, let me see here, multitask cheek brush from Real Techniques, and I just popped it in there twice. I'm not gonna go crazy, and we're just gonna sweep it on the cheeks. So you see how that's just like, it's just that nice kiss of color. And for my skin tone, this shade of pink is really nice. It's got a little bit of peachiness to it instead of having more of that fuchsia undertone to it. but it's peachy without being coral. You see what I'm going? It's like baby pink, pretty much. It's like a baby pink color. So I'm actually really, really happy with this blush. It is supposed to be long lasting. I haven't worn it enough to kind of know or be able to give you a good idea, but I will be doing an update on those products and possibly an entire video dedicated to Sephora products because I've kind of collected a whole bunch now. And like I said, I'm just curious to see how they perform next to the products that they sell. We're gonna head over to the Morphe products that I picked up because damn, am I ever excited that Morphe is now not just available in Canada, but in Sephora. Like, are you kidding me? I've never been able to get my hands on Sephora products, so I was super, super stoked. One of the things that I picked up was the Eyelid Primer. This is the translucent shade. So I'm just gonna do a quick insert of me sort of showing you the product and applying it on my eyes. It is interesting and it actually works really, really well. Okay, so I've gone ahead and primed this eye just so you can kind of see the difference. Like I said, I do have really like dark and veiny kind of eyelids, so I typically use something like this MAC paint pot in soft ochre. It has a bit of a yellow undertone to it, which works really well to cancel out, like I said, the blueness in my eyelids. So just apply it on the other lid here. You can see it says it's translucent, but it comes out in kind of a creamy color, but it does blend away into like a translucent shade. Like when I first used this, I thought, oh, this is translucent. It's not gonna, cancel anything out, cancel any of my darkness or veins. But I have used this and it does work quite well. So I'm just gonna take these two top shades here. One's a little bit of a shimmer and this one's just matte kind of. It's not bright white, but like it's pretty white. And I'm just gonna set the eyelids. So the shadows do grab onto the primer really nicely, and I do find that it cancels out the darkness that it does typically peer through a translucent eye primers. I am experiencing like a little bit of creasing. I do have super, super oily eyelids, so typically I would prime one eye and then set it right away and then prime the other eye and set it much quicker. But here I was just talking back and forth, so I do notice a little bit of creasing, so you kind of want to work quickly if you have oily eyelids or, a situation like that. For any discounts or anything, this is only 13 bucks and you get twice the product for half the price in compared to the MAC one. So while I have been using this because I thought I needed it to sort of cancel out my darkness and my blue veins and all that jazz on my eyelids, this works really well. If you use it and then use like their Morphe eyeshadows to set it, it works incredibly well. So this I'm super keen to keep trying because it's awesome. And I absolutely need an eye primer. That is not a step that I can ever skip. The other item that I picked up was the giant eyeshadow palette from Morphe. This is 350 Nature Glow. And this, again, before any discounts, is only 30 bucks. There's 35 shades in here, so that's less than $1 a shade. And like, look at that. If you love neutrals, if you love creating those nice warm looks, here's your palette. There's some stunning, stunning shades in here, apart from like all the kind of normal ones that we're all sort of used to. I'm gonna have to switch sides so I can use my other hand. I'm just gonna swatch some of the shades that like I'm super interested in. This is, for example, this orange shade right here. Like, what? Like, that's incredible. That's incredible. They're nice and creamy. The texture is amazing. This like olive, this is not picking up right on camera. There's like quite a nice like taupey mustard camo shade. Like, are you kidding me? Again, one pass. These are beautiful. Other one that I'm super in love with, this shade right here. Like, what is that? Like pink champagne? Like champagne rosé? Is that a thing? Like, look at that. Are you kidding me? I'm so excited. A couple of the other shades that I'm really keen on. This one right at the bottom here. It's got like this burgundy orange shimmer to it. Again, one pass. These are incredible, and I really feel like you can mix and match all of these shades. And I am not great at eyeshadow by any means, but I have had a really hard time creating a bad look with this palette. I do also have the Morphe 9C, the Jewel Crew palette. Again, pretty interesting layout, some different sort of unique shades in here. Haven't really been able to create a bad look with them. They blend really nicely, the color schemes, they go together lovely, and the Morphe brushes are also part of the magic. I swear to you, The M433, I've already ordered 2 more so I can have them for like whatever type of shade or color I'm using. And then the Morphe, the M441, which is another great brush. So this one's like a little bit longer and pretty fluffy. And then this one is just a little bit stouter and a little bit wider. This one, this M433 is my favorite brush. I highly, highly, highly recommend picking up that brush or both these brushes. Okay, so like I said, we are gonna pop back into the Be a Light palette from Becca. I did want to, it's kind of hard to open. Oh, no, it's not. Operator malfunction. I wanted to not only try out the Sephora blush just to show you guys how pretty it is, but this one, I have used it a couple of times, and the gold shades that you see in there that sort of like swirled throughout translates onto the skin, translates onto the skin quite a bit. So it's not one that I really feel comfortable using as like my full blush color because it highlights some of the pore, well, all of the pores that I have on my cheeks, and that's like a no-no. So I'm going to be using, this is actually a highlighting blush from e.l.f. that I really like to use for blush, and I'm just going to kind of swirl my brush in there and just kind of keep it a little bit higher so it's acting a little bit more as a highlight as opposed to a blush. Like, you see like how reflective that is. To me, that's like not really a blush, you know, that's more of a rosy highlight. So something that I would use is like a blush topper, but that's not typically something that I'm into. So this might not be something that I reach for a whole lot. It is reminding me of the ambient lighting blushes from Hourglass. However, the swirls of gold and the shimmer that you see in here doesn't translate onto the skin quite like the Becca ones. So these ones, don't be afraid of these ones. They're definitely not as highlighty as this Becca one, but it's pretty. It's just, again, not something that I would feel comfortable like using as a full blush. It's just too highlighty for me. Okay, so the last makeup item that I picked up was the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. It just kind of pained me to pay whatever like the full price was for this item because I don't know, I just was like, really, could it be worth all that hype? Yep, it could be. I am so impressed with this gel. I don't know how it adds so much fluffiness to my brows, but it does. All I did previous to applying this right now is I just penciled them in. That was it. I penciled them in and I brushed it. I do have naturally like pretty thick brows, but this just adds a bit of fluff, makes them look super, super natural, and they're gonna look like this for like 10 or 11 hours, like no joke. A lot of the other products that I've been using, for example, this Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer from Maybelline is awesome. I absolutely, absolutely love it, but it just doesn't really last all day. Like, it holds pretty good for probably like 6-7 hours, but towards the end of the day, I can kind of be like, oh, okay, brows are disappearing. Whereas this, like I said, after 11-12 hours, they're still gonna look like this. I love this stuff. Love it. All right, everybody, that is it for today's video. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned some things about some products that you were interested in. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Maybe go check out some of my other videos, and I really hope to see you next time. Aloha.